The debate at 9, presented by Amity University, powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Century Ply, Club Prime, PolicyBazaar.com.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on the debate. I am Niranjan, filling in for Arnab Goswami. Arnab will be back very, very soon on the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a packed show lined up today, and on a day when the BJP is saying Mandir wahi ban gaya. The BJP says Mandir wahi ban gaya. They've begun the campaign, and even the INDI alliance has begun a counter campaign, and their counter campaign is called Mandir baad mein jayenge. That's their counter campaign. So we have a very, very heated political debate lined up, and the Republic Media Network, with at least 20 reporters in Ayodhya, 4 channels, 20 reporters, we have the biggest coverage on Indian television. Here are the debates tonight. Debate number 1 tonight. As the BJP begins Mandir Wahi Ban Gaya campaign, INDI has begun the Mandir Baad Mein Jayenge campaign, politics and why it can't mar India's biggest moment. Even Iran is turning its back on Pakistan. Believe it or not, Iran has bombed Pakistan. Iran has bombed Pakistan, launching a missile strike. The big global debate with Abhishek Kapoor coming up at 10 p.m. tonight. And at 10:30 p.m., the fallout of what Iran and Pakistan are engaged in. Abhishek Kapoor debating whether we are one misfire away from World War III. Here are the headlines on the debate tonight.
Ram
200-kilogram Ram Lalla idol tours Ram Mandir premises. All eyes now on the Pran Pratishtha.
22 तारीख का क्या महत्व है? 22 तारीख का कोई राम से संबंध है? 1970 के पहले इलेक्शन में शायद राम के नाम का इस्तेमाल हुआ था। तब से लेके आज तक हर चुनाव में राम ही के नाम पे इलेक्शन लड़ा जाता है।
INDI continuing to play politics. Leaders making back-to-back ridiculous comments, questioning the significance of the 22nd of January. After Sharad Pawar, Kejriwal saying he will boycott Pran Prathishtha but will go to Ayodhya later. India alliance divided over Ram Mandir, left hits out. Questions Mamata Banerjee. The left is questioning Mamata Banerjee's rally for harmony. Iran has bombed Pakistan by launching a missile strike on Balochistan. Islamabad calling it a breach of sovereignty. Pakistan in a state of panic. In a big diplomatic fallout, Pakistan expels Iranian ambassador, recalls envoy from Tehran. Ladies and gentlemen, the Republic Media Network is in Ayodhya. We are in Ayodhya, the largest team of reporters who've been covering the festive fervor and the build-up to the 22nd of January from Republic TV, Republic Bharat, Republic Bangla, Republic Kannada. In all, we have about 20 reporters, 20 journalists on the ground and many more joining the team there. And I have them live from Ayodhya this evening. I can see Saloni. I have Anamika from Republic Bharat, Smita Ranganath from Republic Kannada. I can see Rakshita, who's live from Republic English, and Mayuk joining us from a separate studio that the Republic Bangla team has set up there. So we have our team on the ground. And let me in fact go and find out from our teams what the mood is on the ground while our politicians, or at least some of them in the opposition, are busy asking each other what is the big deal about the 22nd of January. There are parties who are asking the significance of 22nd, saying what's the big deal, and there are some parties saying that back in the 1990s they just saw a tent with two dolls in them. Ridiculous comments have been made in the last 24 hours itself. Let me go straight to our team on the ground. Saloni, Anamika, Smita, Rakshita, why don't all of you from different channels on the Republic Media Network tell us the mood on the ground as you sense it? What is happening in Ayodhya and how are people reacting to these bizarre comments?
निरंजन, आपसे कुछ देर पहले एक हमारा प्रोग्राम भी चल रहा था और हम सब ने उस प्रोग्राम को देखा है, तो मूड तो हमें उसी से पता चल रहा है लोगों का कि जैसे ही लोगों से बात करने के लिए कुछ सवाल पूछने स्मिता हम जाते हैं तो पहला जवाब होता है जय श्री राम का। आपने भी यही फील किया होगा।
100%. Before I switch to Hindi or English, which is very bad, in fact, I just want to say a few lines to the Kannada viewers who are watching this show live. Karnatakada Janarige, ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಟಿವಿ ಮೂಲಕ ಅಯೋಧ್ಯೆಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಡಿನಿಂದ ಅಂದರೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ನಾಡಿನಿಂದ ತಯಾರಾದ ರಾಮಲಲ್ಲನ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಕೆಲವೇ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಾಪನೆ ಆಗಲಿದೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಡೀ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಭಾರತ ಈ ಖುಷಿಯನ್ನು, ಈ ಸಂಭ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಪರಸ್ಪರ ಹಾಗೆ ಸಂಭ್ರಮಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಈಸ್ the murti which will be installed in the garbhagriha within 4 days. It is made from the stone brought from Karnataka and from the sculptor who also belongs to Karnataka. So entire Karnataka is celebrating this Ram Mandir inauguration day, and even in Ayodhya also we met lot of people coming from Karnataka who are just celebrating this as a biggest festival of a lifetime. Many of the people with whom I spoke personally, Kannadigas, they were saying that this is actually Deepavali for us, Diwali for us, and for this moment we were waiting for the lifetime. So we all are celebrating. This is the lines which was common from every Kannadigas which I spoke to.
सलोनी, आपने भी यही फील किया होगा, रक्षिता आपने भी यही महसूस किया होगा। हम कुछ देर पहले यहाँ पर आए हैं, लेकिन एयरपोर्ट से लेके यहाँ तक जो कुछ भी दिखा वो भव्य था, दिव्य था।
बिल्कुल भव्य था, दिव्य था। और निरंजन, जो दर्शक इस वक्त देख रहे हैं रिपब्लिक टीवी, वो जाने कि जब कहा जाता है कि हरि अनंत हरि कथा अनंता, सुनहि लिखहि बहुविधि सब संता, तो वाकई महंत और संतों की ये जो नगरी है आज उदयमान है उस अलौकिक सौंदर्य से जो त्रेता युग में हुआ करता था, और आज उसी की तस्वीरें यहाँ निकल कर सामने आ रही हैं। और रक्षिता, ऐसा हो क्या ना हो, 500 सालों का इंतजार जब खत्म होता है तो उत्साह तो ऐसा ही होता है ना।
Of course, and we have seen that किस तरह से चाहे वो बच्चे हो चाहे बूढ़े हों, दोनों में ही उतना ही उत्साह है. We have met people from the length and breadth of the country. We've seen people coming from West Bengal to Gujarat, from Rajasthan. They've all come here, carrying the saffron flag, carrying Jai Shri Ram flags. And as Anamika was just mentioning, right from boarding a flight, everything was Rammaya, as they say. There were chants of Jai Shri Ram reverberating throughout the flight, from takeoff and on, landing on Ayodhya. And then after that, of course, we headed to Ram Ki Pedi, where we are right now. And it was a beautiful light show and Ram bhajans, and there are people who have in 10th class student. I just met a student of 10th class who had actually sketched the entire Ramayana back in 2019, entire scene, all the scenes of Ramayana back in 2019, when he in fact was learning about the verdict, that historic verdict on Ram Janmabhoomi that was given by the Supreme Court. So we can understand that everybody is getting that message. This is a movement. It's a 500-year-old movement, and of course how it picked up steam, gained strength over the years in the past few decades. And everybody is now wanting to understand, because this is not, it's beyond religion. This is just beyond rituals. This is something that is the tradition of India. This is what unites India. As we have our network reporters from various locations, from all our bureaus. They're all here, and they all have have a story to tell for people from the states, how they, visualize and how they connect with Lord Ram, isn't it?
और जैसा अभी रक्षिता ने कहा, स्मिता सलोनी, हमने ये भी देखा कि आपने कहा 10th क्लास के बच्चे स्केच कर रहे थे रामायण को लेके, भगवान राम के कैरेक्टर को लेके। यहाँ छोटे छोटे से बच्चों से आप बात करिए तो ये बच्चे यहाँ पर निरंजन शुरुआत ही बात की रामायण की चौपाई से करते हैं, और जो लोग यहाँ आ रहे हैं वो उसे याद करके आ रहे हैं कि जब हमें बताना है कि हम कहाँ पर हैं तो वो शब्द हमारी बातों में दिखे कि क्या कितना उत्साह है हमें, और हम लोगों को बता सके कि आज अयोध्या नगरी कितनी बदली है। दरअसल मैंने अयोध्या को 25-30 साल से बड़ा करीब से देखा है, यहाँ रही हूँ मैं, तो मैं कह सकती हूँ जरूर स्मिता कि अयोध्या बदली नहीं है, बहुत बदल गई है, और अब यहाँ के लोगों को बड़े लेवल पर रोजगार भी मिलने वाला है।
बिल्कुल, कर्नाटका में जो पॉलिटिकल तूतू में चल रही है, many people from different parties are condemning. Actually, they want hospitals to be built, they want schools to be built, everything, name it. They say development must be the priority than building the mandirs. But what we are witnessing, what Republic Network and each person, reporters from different states which we have gathered here, we are just witnessing the complete transformation. The roads are being built, the buildings are being built, and even the economy. When we speak to the, the person who is just sitting in the street and doing his business, he's saying that पहले तो हम 10-20 रुपए कमा लेते थे मुश्किल से, अब हम हजारों में बिजनेस कर रहे हैं. This is what is called as economical revolution, which even this Ayodhya land is witnessing. Even the railway station, the airport, whatever the basic facilities which Ayodhya was not getting since years, everything has been noticed, everything has been given priority just because of one mandir in which Ram Lalla will be, Pran Prathishtha होगा, वहाँ पे बैठेंगे. अभी 4 ही दिन बचे हुए हैं.
बिल्कुल 4 ही दिन बचे हुए हैं, और जैसा कि स्मिता कह रही थी, अनामिका कह रही थी, स्मिता की हिंदी काफी अच्छी लग रही है निरंजन, लेकिन मैं कहूं कि ये जब कहते हैं कि धर्म पथ और विकास पथ साथ साथ चलते हैं तो ये गलत नहीं होगा, क्योंकि धर्म से जिस तरह से इस नगरी का कायाकल्प हो रहा है, विकास अपने आप वो डोर थामे आ रहा है. आप देखिए कि हम कह रहे हैं, अनामिका भी बता रही थी कि 20 से 25 साल में ये अयोध्या बहुत बदली है, और रक्षिता हम ये समझे कि बदली है तो इस लिहाज से बदली है कि जब ये अनुष्ठान हो रहा है तो रोजगार भी हो रहा है, जुड़ रहा है इसके साथ, क्योंकि जब सड़क बन रही है तो दुकानें बन रही हैं, लोग पहुंच रहे हैं. जी जी हाँ जी,
हम ये देखिए, ये जो ब्रॉडकास्ट है अभी 9 बजे है, अर्नब सर का डिबेट है ये, और ये पहली बार है शायद जहां पे रिपब्लिक टीवी, रिपब्लिक भारत, रिपब्लिक कन्नड़ा और अभी रिपब्लिक बांग्ला, across regions, across languages, we are live. And I just want to get one response from Mayuk, who's there from the Republic Bangla team. He's been there on the ground last few days, has traveled the length and breadth of Ayodhya. Mayuk, fantastic pictures, images, reports coming in. We're all very, very excited with what's going on. And when you look at what's happening there, Mayuk, you've traveled all the way from Kolkata, you sense the mood on the ground, and you think about the politics back home. What is the sense that you get about how disconnected perhaps all these political parties are? Mayuk.
Absolutely, Niranjan. And when I was hearing the logic of the Kannadiga politicians, the opposition, the leaders from the Karnataka state, I was sensing the same thing back here in Kolkata. Maybe the Congress there and Trinamool Congress thinks this in the same line. Here also in Kolkata, people are saying that, yaar, ye sab bana ke kya hoga? This is the version of Trinamool Congress senior leaders. मंदिर बना के क्या होगा, मंदिर के सामने कटोरे लेके बैठेंगे लोग. This is the version of Trinamool Congress youth president. This is the version of Trinamool Congress leaders. And Mamata Banerjee, she's just not participating in this entire Ram Mandir thing. Rather, she will be organizing Kali Yatra, Ma Kali Yatra, and she will be visiting mosques, she will be visiting gurdwaras, and she will be celebrating Solidarity Day on 22nd of January. For word solidarity. The whole nation is here right now. I can see Bengal is flocking down the streets in Ayodhya. I'm just addressing the people here in Ayodhya in Bangla. Jodi apnara ekhane thaken, amader Republic Bangla stage chole ashun. People who are actually in Ayodhya, most of them, the artisans who are making the Kartavya Path and the Dharma Path, they are Bengalis. The names are also in Bengalis in alphabetical orders. Most of them are Bengali workers working here, and they are celebrating the homecoming of Rama. Niranjan.
Beauty of India, beauty of India, beauty of India and beauty of this network. I can tell you that Ayodhya is a melting pot right now. And I am sure that people from across India, all states, are in Ayodhya as we speak. And we were surprised, I have to say, we were surprised with the number of, Kannadigas, the number of Bengalis, number of people from across all states who've gathered there, and to speak to them, to get a sense of how they feel. It's fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the debate. Let me now play a small update on what has happened today, and we're going to open up the debate. We have a political panelist joining us. But here's the latest of the excuses given by some parties. Some asking, why go now? Why go on the 22nd? We will go later. Some saying we will hold parallel rallies. And some even asking bizarre, ridiculous questions like, what is the big deal about the 22nd of January? They actually asked that question. Take a look.
From Arvind Kejriwal to Akhilesh Yadav, from Lalu Prasad Yadav to the Congress party, trying to find an alibi for their absence on the 22nd. Now, suddenly, in the last 48 to 72 hours, they are trying to give a message that they are going to be present in different temples, but not in Ayodhya. So what is happening is that the opposition is trying to look for an alibi for their absence from the big Pran Prathishtha event here in Ayodhya.
After a boycott call, INDI has now tried to dwarf the significance of the Pran Prathishtha with its Baad Mein Jayenge campaign.
तो अपने माता पिता, अपनी धर्म पत्नी, अपने बच्चों के साथ में जाऊंगा. बाद में चले जाएंगे जब भी एक बार ये भी हो जाए. 22 तारीख में बहुत ज़्यादा, मतलब उन्होंने कहा था कोई देने के लिए आएगा, लेकिन अभी कोई आया नहीं. लेकिन उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. हम बाद में सपरिवार में जाना चाहता हूं, तो बाद में सपरिवार में.
22 तारीख का क्या महत्व है? 22 तारीख का कोई राम से संबंध है, कोई पूजा पाठ करने का दिन है. अभी ये लोग निकलेंगे उधर से पूजा करके, फिर प्रसाद बांटने जाएंगे हर एक के घर में, तो ये देश में एक माहौल तैयार कर देंगे जो धर्म पे आधारित है.
While the Congress top brass and the RJD have outrightly refused to attend the grand ceremony, DMC plans to hold Harmony Rally.
22nd January function, a completely political Narendra Modi function. It's become a RSS BJP function.
আমি নিজে একটা র্যালি করব. আমি প্রথমে নিজে কালী মন্দিরে যাব, ওটা সবাই যাবে না. সেদিন 22 জানুয়ারি बेला 3टे संप्रीति मिचिल होबे.
सर, राम मंदिर का उद्घाटन है. क्या राम मंदिर उद्घाटन में आप लोगों को सर आमंत्रण मिला है? जाएंगे?
नहीं जाएंगे.
नहीं जाएंगे सर.
No.
The BJP and its allies have questioned the intent of the India alliance.
Rahul Gandhi lives in this Lala world. He tried it in 2014, he tried it in 2019, he's trying it again today. People of India are wise enough. They understand what Rahul Gandhi's politics is about, and we will leave it to the people of India to decide what answer they should give to Rahul Gandhi.
पर हमने तो उनकी माताजी को भी बुलाया था, विपक्ष के नेता को बुलाया था, उनके अध्यक्ष को बुलाया था, अकेले प्रधानमंत्री को बुलाया होता तो ये आरोप सत्य हो सकता था. पर जब सबको बुलाया है तब उन्हें क्या आपत्ति है?
Ram devotees have this message for the critics.
नहीं समझी गई ये बात तो नुकसान सबका है. यहाँ जो मिल गई नदियाँ वो दिखलाई नहीं देती. महासागर बनाने में, मगर एहसान सबका है। बहुत से रास्ते खोजे गए उस तक पहुंचने के, मगर पहुंचे हुए ये कह गए भगवान सबका है। तो राम सबके हैं, राम पर राजनीति होनी नहीं चाहिए जो लोग राजनीति करते हैं।
Will India's temple snub hurt the mandate? Let's debate.
All right, joining us on the debate this evening are Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, Shantanu Gupta, author, political analyst, Vivek Silas, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. I have Arka Kumar Nag, who's a political analyst who leans towards the Trinamool Congress on the debate. Also, George Kurian leans towards the Congress Party, political analyst, joining us. Good evening to everyone. I want to start with a question to Sanju. Sanju, the latest, today's quotable quote came from Sharad Pawar, who in his letter to the General Secretary of the Ram Janmabhoomi Tirtha Kshetra has mentioned his unavailability on the day of the inauguration, and his party leader, his faction leader, Jitendra Awad, asks, what is the big deal? What is the significance of the 22nd of January? I'd like to get your response to that. Sanju.
You know, Niranjan, Hindi mein कहावत है, रंग में भंग करना. And I tell you, a debilitated opposition has this ability to, always find fault where there is none, because they suffer from what I call persecution complex. And they are the proverbial conspiracy theorists. And I'll tell you why. Jitendra Awad ne kaha ki Shri Ram maas, machli khate the. He's made some atrocious statements without delving deeper into that. Let me just say this. Do you remember that it was in August 2020, Niranjan, that Prime Minister Modi laid the foundation stone of the Ram Janmabhoomi, Ram Mandir temple, and the opposition boycotted the event. Then, let me remind you that it was in, 2022 July. I remember that the Prime Minister inaugurated the famous Sarnath lion emblem on top of the new Parliament building. The entire opposition, despite being invited, boycotted the event. And as recently as May 28, 2023, when the Sengal was placed next to the Lok Sabha Speaker's chair, it was a historic event. 38 Adhinams from Tamil Nadu made their presence felt, and how the entire opposition, despite being invited, started sulking like kindergartners and refused to be a part of the historic event. But more importantly, ये सारा opposition का जो कबाल है, कहते हैं, हमारी राष्ट्रपति द्रौपदी मुर्मू जी को क्यों नहीं बुलाया? तो इनसे मैं बात पूछना चाहती हूँ. On the 9th of September 2023, 172 delegates, including high-profile people from 20 countries, including India, were invited for a dinner which was sent out. The invite was sent out by Rashtrapati Draupadi Murmu ji. मुझे बताइए, did Congress's then Ashok Gehlot, Chief Minister of Rajasthan, attend the event? No. Did Bhupesh Baghel, then Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, attend the event? No. Did Siddaramaiah, the then Chief Minister and the Chief Minister now as well, attend the event? No. So the limited point I'm trying to make is, इन्हें आप यदि बड़े सम्मान से, आदर से आप न्योता भेजते हैं, कई लोगों को जो कहते हैं ना, ज्यादा आदर हजम नहीं होता, ऑपोजिशन का वही हाल है. इनका ज्यादा सम्मान करिएगा, इनको आदर से बुलाइएगा, तो इनको ये आदर सम्मान हजम नहीं होता. इसलिए इन्होंने द्रौपदी मुर्मू जी का भी G20 डिनर का इन्विटेशन डिक्लाइन किया. And today, look at the audacity, look at the hypocrisy of this fractious lot. They then say, अरे ये तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी का पर्सनल इवेंट है. पर्सनल इवेंट कहां से हुआ? राम जन्मभूमि तीर्थ क्षेत्र ट्रस्ट ये इनविटेशंस भेज रही है. उन्होंने तो अखिलेश यादव को भी भेजा, उन्होंने सीताराम येचुरी को भी भेजा, उन्होंने सोनिया गांधी, मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे, अधीर रंजन चौधरी को भी भेजा, उन्होंने ये इनविटेशन ममता बनर्जी को भी भेजा, उन्होंने ये इनविटेशन शरद पवार को भी भेजा. But what is the net result? Joined by their visceral hatred for Narendra Modi, which is the only binding glue of a vanquished opposition, they said, नहीं हम दर्शन करने तो जरूर जाएंगे, पर 22 जनवरी के बाद जाएंगे. अरे भाई साहब, people suffering from persecution complex, there is nothing that can redeem these conspiracy theorists. आपको जब जाना है जाइए, but it is a historic event. Hindus have waited for 500 years for the Ram temple to come to fruition, and हम तो सीना ठोक के कहते हैं जिसको invitation मिला है, he or she will make his or her presence felt without being a part of this falsehood related narrative peddled by Rahul Gandhi, who keeps talking gibberish about his mohabbat ki dukaan, but then he slams the PM for no rhyme or reason.
Let me ask a question to Vivek. There are Vivek, I'll tell you two glaring examples of confusion within the India alliance, Vivek. And listen to me carefully. Glaring example of confusion within India alliance, example number one. There is a minister in Karnataka who says, I went to Ayodhya after Babri Masjid. They had kept two dolls. His name is Rajanna. Listen to what he says. He says, they had kept two dolls in a tent and they called it Ram. He says, in Ayodhya, I felt nothing. It was like dolls in touring talkies. That is the comment. While his own party MLAs have privately organized huge lifestyle 100 feet cutouts of Lord Ram in different constituencies, Congress MLAs, saying, chodo yaar, chodo, forget about what our leaders are saying, we will celebrate because we will lose votes, our people are angry. Glaring example of confusion number one. Glaring example of confusion number two. Mamata Banerjee says she will do her own harmony rally. Okay, fine. You know what Sitaram Yechuri tells Mamata Banerjee today? Sitaram Yechuri, also of the India Alliance, tells Mamata Banerjee, our constitution guarantees right to individuals to practice and propagate religious beliefs, but the state shall not profess any religion. This has to be the principle, and not that if you go to one temple, I will go to another temple. Which means Sitaram Yechuri also has slammed Mamata Banerjee. What is going on? Vivek?
Yeah, sir, good evening to all of you.
Confusion है.
It's confusion नहीं है. किसका कितना आस्था है, किसका कितना फेथ है, इसकी बात है. दूसरी बात, what the Karnataka minister has said, I don't agree with that. It's absolutely absurd what he said. Such statements should not be given and condemned him. But the Bharatiya Janata Party, what the Bharatiya Janata Party Deputy CM said in Uttar Pradesh, Dinesh Sharma, that Mata Sita is a test tube baby. What the Mr. Shyam Prakash, MLA from the Bharatiya Janata Party, how he very recently insulted Mata, Lakshmi during, Diwali time. What Mr. Dilip Ghosh said about Mata Durga was highly objectionable. And above all, what Mr. Sanjay Nisha said that, Lord Ram himself was an illegitimate child. And what did the leader from the Bharatiya Janata Party said? Ki Ram mein Ram, Jin mein Janki, or Tharre mein Hanuman. But it's very, very unfortunate, sir, that we don't talk about it. The media doesn't speak about it at all. That is very unfortunate. Anyway, I don't want to go into that. No, look, the Bharatiya Janata Party cannot say this time that instead of 15 lakhs, we will be giving you 20 lakhs in your account. We will give you, we will provide you 5 crore jobs every year. The black money will come back at the peak of the jet. They cannot say. Nor they can say the farmers' income will be tripled this time. Okay. They have nothing to say. This time, last time they said we will show red eyes to China. This time they cannot say. We will show deep red eyes to farmers, to China. They cannot speak on LPG, petrol.
ये अयोध्या के डिबेट है, अयोध्या का डिबेट है. राम भक्ति above politics है सब्जेक्ट का डिबेट. राम भक्ति above politics, विवेक.
इसीलिए सर जी, that is what I am trying to tell you. That is why the Bharatiya Janata Party has politicized it perfectly. But are the Shankaracharys coming? No, they are not coming. Sanjuji was talking about. संजू was talking about.
I get a sense. विवेक, मुझे ये सेंस मिल रहा है कि आप नैरेटिव जो है ना, you're losing the narrative. Let me take that question to शांतनु से पूछता हूँ मैं. शांतनु से पूछता हूँ. I think they've lost the narrative, Shantanu. I think they've lost the narrative and they're making it worse with the kind of statements that are coming out day after day. Shantanu.
Just give me 10 seconds. Just give me 10 seconds, please.
Okay. 10 seconds. Okay, complete your point and then Shantanu is coming in. Yeah.
Yes. As far as before anyone says anything or Sanjuji says anything, I would like to tell you the viewers and the panelists that Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, our national president, has visited Ayodhya Ram temples 5 times before. 4th of July 2023, 25th of Feb 2022, 20th of Feb 2022, 18th of November 2021, and 2nd of January 2021. Akhilesh Yadav ji has visited Lord Ram temple 5 times before. Please don't say that we have full faith in Lord Ram. And this is the false notion of Bharatiya Janata Party and some panelists are creating about the Samajwadi Party, which is absolutely unfair and which is absolutely a big lie. We have full faith in Lord Ram.
Who ordered firing on car sevaks? You're saying he went to Ayodhya 5 times. Who ordered firing on car sevaks? Shantanu?
Can I come now?
Who ordered firing on car sevaks?
That is
फायरिंग ऑन कार सेवक्स की बात
Shantanu.
Niranjan.
Shantanu.
You asked me that did they lose? Yeah, you asked me did they lose the plot, right? They lost the plot. They lost the plot the day they fired on car sevak. They lost the plot. Congress lost the plot when they said Ram is imaginary. Congress lost the plot when Rahul Gandhi said जो लड़के मंदिर जाते हैं लड़की छेड़ते हैं. TMC lost the plot when saying Jai Shri Ram became a taboo in West Bengal, right? Lalu Prasad lost the plot when he stopped the Rath Yatra of Lal Krishna Advani. He said they all lost the plot at various points. Now they're trying to make up somehow. Oh, we also penned into Ram. And say, oh my God. So if they come there, they'll lose the plot. Because everything is public recording these days, right? This is not like 50 years of old politics. You can say something and you can say, no, I never said it, right? Every video bite will come and bite them. All of them together never wanted the Ram temple. Someone wanted toilet there, someone wanted hospital there, someone Nani ji was not happy, someone's Dadi ji was not happy, someone wanted a Babri again there. So they all are in record. So now they are just giving some reasons to our TV channels. No, hum is date ko gaye the, us date ko gaye the, hum baad mein jayenge, pehle jayenge. But the point is they never wanted the Ram temple. Their videos are on record, there are multiple statements on record, and now they know they lost the plot anyways, and for them it's only a 2024 election. So they thought, okay, by not going, at least we will keep abusing our Muslim vote bank and keep getting that at least. I think that's in a nutshell.
Yeah, Shantanu, but before Sanju comes in, George, you see, why did I ask that question to Shantanu on losing the narrative? See, look at the stand taken on Article 370. Look at what the BJP said, what the opposition said. Lost the narrative on Article 370. Okay, look at triple talaq. What the BJP said, what the opposition said, what eventually happened on triple talaq. What did the BJP say on GST bill? What did the opposition say on GST bill? Lost the narrative there also. Every time you pick a subject and you take a diametrically opposite stand only for political mileage and only for political mileage, nothing else, just for the heck of it. When you know that there is a black and white on issues, right? You've lost the narrative on this one. George, I feel the opposition has lost the narrative on Ayodhya. People are watching.
Well, Niranjan, very good evening to my co-panelists on the show and to your audience. Let me reiterate here for the benefit of your audience that Congress Party or be it the India bloc is neither anti-Hindu nor anti-Ram. Let me make it clear. Our Astha in Lord Ram is as much as anybody else who believe in Lord Ram, over 100 million people in this country. Having said that, the Ram Mandir Trust has invited the Congress Party, being the principal opposition, just as a formality, out of compulsion. Let me, please do not interrupt me at this point in time. Our Astha in Lord Ram is as much as anybody else here. We don't have a problem with the Prime Minister carrying out the Pran Prathishtha at the Ram Mandir here. Absolutely not a problem. The problem is when the Prime Minister is going to address the nation from Ram Mandir, be it the UP Chief Minister who is going to address the nation. This is what is hurting and making it political. Religious event is fine. We have no issues absolutely with that. And the Congress Party has gone one step further. They have not stopped anybody, any Congress leader from visiting the Ram Mandir for the Pran Pratishtha of Lord Ram at Ayodhya. It has left it open. There is no circular stopping any Congress leader. As far as
why did you go there? Why did your party go there with party flags?
We condemn
why did your party workers go there with party flags? Party flags. Why did you go there with party flags? Who's politicizing when you go there with party flags, Kurian? Who went there with party flags? Who went there with party flags?
Because no one knows them. Because no one knows them with a party flag.
May I please come in, Niranjan? I need to make a rebuttal.
Niranjan, let me...
Sanju's responding to George.
Opposition is opposing...
Yeah.
Thank you. May I come in, please?
That's not the case. The Congress party or the India bloc is not opposing this.
Yes, Sanju.
Niranjan, you have to moderate the debate.
Sanju versus George.
Lost the plot. Two wrongs don't make a right.
Okay, George,
may I come in now?
Sanju's giving you a quick rebuttal. George, Sanju's giving you a quick rebuttal. Yeah.
You know, Niranjan, I have this to say. I'm quoting from page number 504. It is a book written by Mahatma Gandhi, My Experiments with Truth, where he says that religion and politics have coexisted for the longest time, and people who say that religion and politics can be separated from each other do not understand either religion or politics. This is Mahatma Gandhi. Lokmanya Tilak, decades back, started the Ganpati festival, which became later a rallying point to consolidate Hindus. You know, centuries back, we had many Hindu kings who rehabilitated Syrian Christians. So this whole narrative about religion and politics, the need to keep it separate, it sounds good from a textbook perspective, but that is not how things work on the ground. But I'll tell you why. Prime Minister Narendra Modi proudly and unapologetically wears his Hindutva on his sleeves. He is the greatest Hindutva icon, but also more secular than Mamata Banerjee, Rahul Gandhi, Sitaram Yechuri, Sonia Gandhi, Lalu Prasad Yadav, and XYZ put together. And I'll tell you why, Niranjan, without being verbose. Give me 20 seconds. This is the same Prime Minister Narendra Modi who visited the Grand Istiklal Mosque in Indonesia in 2018. This is the same Prime Minister Modi who visited the Pope at the Vatican in October 2021. This is the same Prime Minister Narendra Modi who 2 years back from the ramparts of the Red Fort exhorted people to celebrate Guru Tegh Bahadur's 400th birth anniversary. This is the same Prime Minister Modi who visited the Al-Hakim Mosque in Egypt, which incidentally has been renovated by the Bora community of India under the aegis of Prime Minister Modi. And this is the same Prime Minister Narendra Modi who in a historic speech on August 2020 while laying the Shilanyas of the Ram temple said, Ram hum sabke hain, Ram hum sab mein hain. पर इसमें भी ऑपोजिशन को कुछ ऐसा नजर आता है जिससे ये बौखलाए हुए हैं. And I'll tell you why. Give me 20 seconds more. People say, why should BJP get credit? Arey bhai sahab, it was in the Palampur resolution of 1989 that the BJP got the Ram Mandir issue onto the national center stage of Indian politics. Narendra Modi was the Gujarat General Secretary of the BJP and he collected 50 lakh signatures endorsing that a Ram temple needs to be built at Ram Janmabhoomi. Ram Mandir ke liye Ravi Shankar Prasad, who was then the Union Law Minister, has repeatedly fought, and people like Kalyan Singh, who was the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, उन्होंने अपनी गद्दी छोड़ दी राम मंदिर के लिए और आपके मुलायम सिंह यादव ने गद्दी के लिए निहत्थे कार सेवकों पर गोलियां चलाई. और आप आज बैठकर बीजेपी को बताओगे कि हिंदुइज्म हमें कैसे प्रैक्टिस करना चाहिए, हमें कब बोलना चाहिए, कब पूजा पाठ करना चाहिए. एंड आई टेल यू जस्ट इन 20 सेकंड्स व्हाई 22 जनवरी इस डेट को लेकर बहुत कंट्रोवर्सी है. निरंजन 20 सेकंड्स.
Can I get in Arka hasn't spoken, Sanju. Sanju, I'll come back to you. Sanju, I'll come back to you. Can I get in Arka hasn't spoken.
Can I just take 20 seconds, Niranjan, please?
40 seconds हो गया. 40 seconds हो गया. जल्दी. 10 seconds.
Niranjan,
Niranjan, please give Sanju her 20 seconds or else she will disturb me.
That 1 week after Makar Sankranti is the most auspicious period because Makar Sankranti ke din the sun moves to Makar Rashi, that is the axis of Capricorn, और एक हफ्ते के बाद डेट पड़ती है 22 जनवरी, which is a convergence of Amrit Siddhi Yoga and a convergence of Sarvarth Siddhi Yoga. सुन लिया, समझ आ गया? नहीं तो पढ़ लिख कर आया कीजिए डिबेट पर.
Okay. Arka Kumar Nag. See, my point is, basically, you know, we did some research on how basically the opposition or the INDI parties are losing the narrative state by state.
Would be required to teach BJP to practice Hinduism, because BJP is a political party which need not preach Hinduism, and so far as the constitution and rules of BJP is concerned, the Article 2 says, the party shall bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established and the principles of socialism, secularism and democracy, and would uphold the sovereignty and unity and integrity of India. Which means that it is a political party which believes in secularism. So it is hilarious that they are talking in favor or against any religion, because in the first place their constitution does not speak of any particular religion to be their party's agenda.
Arka, they've also
And,
started
whatever the reason
Modi,
is, if she thinks
Shukriya Modi
that
Bhaijan.
BJP
I don't know
is
whether
being
you heard
taught
of that campaign.
Hinduism, then she should be the first person who will stand up and
They've
say
started
no.
a Shukriya Modi
Bharatiya
Bhaijan
Janata
campaign.
Party
Have you heard
is
of
a
that
secular
campaign?
political party by virtue of being
man,
the
he's so rattled.
party's constitution. None of the BJP Karyakartas is coming up and saying that look here, we have nothing to do with the Ram Mandir. Why so? Because as a political party, we do not have any religious affiliation.
Why won't they?
Because that is their
1 minute.
constitution.
No, 1 minute. My question.
Follow their constitution.
Sanju, wait. Sanju, wait. No, Sanju, before you jump in. Sanju, before you jump in. No. Sanju, before you jump in. Sanju, wait. No. My question, Arka, you have a point. Arka, you have a point. 1 minute. 1 minute. Arka, you have a point, but let me ask a question. Arka, you have a point, man. I know you have a point. It's a valid point. You have a valid point, but let me ask that question to Shantanu. Hold on. Arka, you need to just pause for a second. Arka.
Why 22nd January is required? Because it is in the zone of election, and that is the reason 22nd January is required.
Arka, एक minute. Shantanu, I want to ask a question to Shantanu. Arka, wait. Shantanu, Vivek, I'm coming to you.
Their parties.
Shantanu and then Vivek. Shantanu and Vivek. You know, Shantanu, a point that Arka made. A point that Arka Kumar Nag made, Shantanu. He said BJP is trying to own this Mandir issue, right? Now my question is, the BJP, has it ever shied away from the Mandir issue? From backing the movement, to pioneering the movement, right? To making it a part of the manifesto, to openly fighting for the cause. Where have they ever shied away
They
from?
They have done it illegally.
Openly, politically backing the Mandir movement. So what is the rocket science in that, right, Shantanu?
Nobody has pointed it out to the Bharatiya Janata
Party. How is that rocket science?
Yeah.
They have pioneered it while most parties did not even called it a taboo almost. Isn't it, Shantanu? Shantanu and then Vivek. Shantanu and Vivek versus please. Shantanu and Vivek.
Exactly, I think.
Niranjan. That is the law. And so far as BJP is
Niranjan, you're right. From 1989,
Shantanu and Vivek only. For this segment, Shantanu and Vivek only.
As Sanju said.
Don't sit here and give a bhashan to BJP on Hinduism.
So I'm saying you are right, Niranjan. I'm hearing various voices, so hopefully my audio is audible.
Why do you think that?
So you're right, and from 1989, Palam for Adhination,
what is the point of
BJP backed the issue. As Sanjuji said, Kalyan Singh lost his government because of that. They backed the issue. Every manifesto of BJP,
can I just have Shantanu and Vivek, please? Shantanu and Vivek only, please, on this segment. Thank you.
In fact, Niranjan, when BJP and Sangh used to say Mandir wahi banayenge, kasam Ram ki khate hain, Mandir wahi banayenge, they used to take pot shot. All the opposition parties used to take pot shot ki Mandir wahi banayenge, tarikh nahi batayenge. Right? Then they were fine. They were just trying to tease because no one in their right mind thought that Mandir will ever come. But now the Mandir is coming up with the Supreme Court 5-0 verdict. So now they're saying, "Acha tarikh bhi aa gayi, ab what should I do?" Now they will try to find out every reason in the world. They will find the logic book and find every reason in the world. But the good thing is that people are watching. People have seen their all videos, what they have said about the temple. As I told you, किसी की नानी को पसंद नहीं था, किसी की दादी को पसंद नहीं था. Someone wanted to make hospital, toilet set, library, Babri Masjid, everything there, right? So I think it's people's verdict. People know who is standing with my faith, who is not standing with my faith. So I think, yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, Vivek, see, now they're saying, no, we are not anti-Ram, no, we are not anti-Ram. That was one of the points you made, right? If they were not anti-Ram, why did they oppose and say that Lord Ram does not exist? Kalpanik, fictional character bola tha na? Ram Setu case mein 2007 mein.
Correct.
And many parties, including your alliance partners in the INDI, also said that Sanatan Dharm ko hi khatam kar lo. If you're not anti-Ram, such comments are made. How is it that you guys bear all these things, all these remarks that come out? And if somebody says that kuch nahi tha, Ayodhya mein tent mein do doll the, how do you guys bear and live with such comments? Vivek?
I have said in my opening comment that such statements Samajwadi Party does not endorse, and it's absolutely absurd. And the people who are spoken like that should take their word back. But the fact of the matter today is, if you see the yesterday's election in Chandigarh, the mayor election, the Bharatiya Janata Party has been belted blue and black. They have lost the election badly, and you know why? Because the data of the last 4 months shows there is the highest inflation. Food inflation in India. Food inflation is up by 9.5% in rural areas and 10.5% in the urban areas. That is the main cause. And Bharatiya Janata Party doesn't want to even speak a word. Consumption of basic goods like soap, shampoos, powder, I'm talking about the essential domestic products, has been dropped by 50%. And that is the reason that the people are not backing the Bharatiya Janata Party. Had the Bharatiya Janata Party won the Chandigarh election, had the Bharatiya, let me complete. What funny? Had the Bharatiya
Your party was routed in Uttar Pradesh 2022.
Yes, you have been belted.
Akhilesh Yadav was routed in 2017. You lost the by-elections to Azamgarh and Rampur. Your tally in the Lok Sabha today is a measly 3 seats.
What about
some by-election or some election in Chandigarh. Talk about the big daddy. The big daddy is the Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections.
Keep quiet and listen to me.
Akhilesh Yadav.
Keep quiet and listen to me.
योगी आदित्यनाथ मुख्यमंत्री बनकर नहीं आएंगे. You today have a nice big fat wobbly helmet on your face. योगी आदित्यनाथ will be the first chief minister to come back in 37 years for the second time in a row. The problem with you is you will remember what Sanjay Nishad said. You have the guts to condemn your leader Swami Prasad Maurya.
What do you want to
say? That Ramcharitmanas is a hoax.
Valmiki ki
Ramayana is a hoax.
एक मिनट थोड़ा सा मैं फैक्ट चेक करना चाहता हूँ संजू वेरी सीरियस सब्जेक्ट वेरी सीरियस आई हैव अ वेरी सीरियस इंटरवेंशन very serious intervention I have to make. I need to fact check the Samajwadi Party. I need to fact check the Samajwadi Party. Very serious point I need to make, Sanju. I need to fact check the Samajwadi Party spokesperson. He just said BJP has been beaten black and blue. Chandigarh. No, 1 minute. Sir ji, अभी election हुआ ही नहीं है. इलेक्शन चंडीगढ़ मेयर इलेक्शन हुआ ही नहीं है विवेक जी. नहीं हुआ ही नहीं है. कल है इलेक्शन. कल है इलेक्शन. हुआ ही नहीं है. रिजल्ट आपको कैसे पता है रिजल्ट? इलेक्शन तो कल है. चंडीगढ़ मेयर पोल कल है.
Shame on you.
Debated on that yesterday.
Condemn Swami Prasad Maurya, who said that Ramcharitmanas is a hoax.
कल है आज नहीं कल है. रिजल्ट आया नहीं है.
भगवान राम को रंग में कहा, माता जानकी को दिन में
कहा,
भगवान हनुमान को खतरे में कहा, वो
हिम्मत है. आपके नेता मुलायम सिंह यादव ने निहत्थेकार सेवकों पर गोली चलाई थी, इसलिए यहाँ बैठकर हिंदू.
Okay, I want to get Sanju. I will quickly get one last response from George. George.
You guys are a bunch of charlatans.
George.
You guys are a bunch of Hindu-phobic charlatans.
George, do you think?
That is why
I want to ask a question to George. Sanju, with your permission, 1 minute. Sanju, with your permission, 1 second. With your permission and permission of Vivek and everyone else, 30, he hasn't spoken. George, do you think after okay, I'll give 15 seconds, George and Arka. After this, if political parties try to play the soft Hindutva card before 2024, which they will predictably try and do you think it is going to hurt them even more? Because we know that the Congress party especially is aiming for the minority vote. They have no qualms about it. I mean, I'm telling you, they have no qualms about fighting for the minority vote, no qualms about fighting for the Ahinda vote, right? It appears that they don't want the Hindu vote, or at least that's the impression that they are giving. But after this, if you try and play soft Hindutva just before elections, I don't think it's going to work. George, quickly, 15 seconds and then Arka.
Well, Niranjan, it's not about soft Hindutva. The Congress party, or be it the India bloc, is traditionally believing in the Asta of Lord Ram, and we our best wishes to the Ram Mandir Trust and all those who are involved in the Pran Pratishtha. Let peace and tranquility and prosperity for India be seen in the coming near future. And I strongly believe that the BJP should refrain from politicizing this entire thing and polarizing for Hindu votes.
May I respond, Niranjan?
Okay, Arka, last word. Arka, last word. Arka, quickly, he hasn't spoken. I'll give him 15 seconds.
So far as the 2024 elections and the soft Hindutva, hard Hindutva, anti-Hindutva, pro-minorities is concerned, I believe, and in Bengal, if Niranjan, if you look into the scenario, the votes are not given on the basis of religion. Till today, I am proud that Bengal votes in the name of development, it votes in the name of Mamata Banerjee, it does not vote in the name of any religious per se, and I am constantly propagating this. We are in 2024 India, we should stop thinking of religious backlogs, we should start thinking for development, economics, the legalities, the constitutional rights, the employment, the GDP, the GDP of the states, and not particularly for a religion. It is time we grow up.
Okay. Okay, Arka, Shantanu, Sanju, George, Vivek, thank you for joining us on the debate. The big debate on Iran bombing Pakistan. Pakistan getting bombed at the border in Balochistan. That's the big debate coming up next with Abhishek Kapoor. Stay tuned.
Presented by Amity University, ranked amongst the top 3 universities globally. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, growing legacies since 1820. Century Ply Club Prime, Raho Befikar. PolicyBazaar.com, Har family hogi insured. In association with Star Health Insurance.
हेलो बेटा।
मिस्टर विकास के साथ कौन है?
बस बेटा थोड़ी देर और वो मिस्टर विकास की फाइल आप पॉलिसी बाजार। मैम आपका हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस क्लेम अप्रूव हो गया है, अब आप सर को घर ले जा सकती हैं।
क्लेम के टाइम पे हमेशा आपकी हेल्प को तैयार। पॉलिसी बाजार, 1 करोड़ का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 390 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
QSMTHE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, growing legacies over 200 years.
टिप चाहिए? पैसा लगाना है? तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
इंश्योरेंस कोई आरओआई नहीं है। एमएफ ईयर चेक कर, हाई होगा। क्या है?
आप बीपी चेक कीजिए, हाई होगा। हाई बीपी से सीकेडी हो सकता है और उसके ट्रीटमेंट से आपका टोटल लाइफ सेविंग्स खत्म। SHI ले लो।
SHI?
स्टार हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस। अपनी सेविंग्स को बचाइए स्टार हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस के साथ। द हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस स्पेशलिस्ट।
बाजार में पूछेगा, परिवार में पूछेगा,
फैसिलिटी पूछेगा, लोकेलिटी पूछेगा,
अंकल दुक्कल से पूछेगा, बाबा गुग्गल से पूछेगा।
अरे कब तक पूछते रहोगे?
जब घर अपग्रेड हो करना 99 एकड़ से ही पूछना।
RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, growing legacies over 200 years.
टिप चाहिए? पैसा लगाना है? तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
22 तारीख का क्या महत्व है? 22 तारीख का कोई राम से संबंध है, कोई पूजा पाठ करने का दिन है। अभी ये लोग निकलेंगे उधर से पूजा करके, फिर प्रसाद बांटने जाएंगे हर एक के घर में, तो ये देश में एक माहौल तैयार कर देंगे जो धर्म पे आधारित है।
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, growing legacies over 200 years.
In shadows of light, driving into the wild. Surprise. Keep it wild. The new sonnet.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Yes, Papa.
Life doesn't stop for anyone. Even we won't let you stop. At every stage of your life, with LIC, you are always insured. LIC, हर पल आपके साथ.
बाजार में पूछेगा, परिवार में पूछेगा,
फैसिलिटी पूछेगा, लोकेलिटी पूछेगा.
अंकल दुक्कल से पूछेगा, बाबा गुग्गल से पूछेगा.
अरे कब तक पूछते रहोगे?
जब घर अपग्रेड हो करना 99 एकड़ से ही पूछना.
RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, growing legacies over 200 years.
Hi, what's that? That's a Manish Malhotra.
Not your dress.
The cupboard. The laminate is a Manish Malhotra design.
Century Laminates by Manish Malhotra. Fashion for your furniture.
Live it up, live it up.
माता पिता, अपनी धर्म पत्नी, अपने बच्चों के साथ में जाऊंगा. बाद में चले जाएंगे जब भी एक बार ये भी हो जाए. 22 तारीख में बहुत ज़्यादा, मतलब उन्होंने कहा था कोई देने के लिए आएगा, लेकिन अभी कोई आया नहीं. लेकिन उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. हम बाद में सब परिवार में जाना चाहता हूँ, तो बाद में सब परिवार में.
Presented by Amity University, ranked amongst the top 3 universities globally. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, growing legacies since 1820. Century Ply Club Prime, Raho Befikar. PolicyBazaar.com, हर family होगी insured. In association with Star Health Insurance.
टिप चाहिए? पैसा लगाना है? तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, चलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, growing legacies over 200 years.
देख, इत्तू सी है. थाली तो अनलिमिटेड होनी चाहिए.
कैंटीन की थाली है, कोई नीवा बूपा हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी थोड़ी है.
मतलब
इत्तू भी क्लेम किया तो पूरा बेस कवरेज वापस. अनलिमिटेड टाइम.
ये तो मुझे भी चाहिए.
जिंदगी को क्लेम कर ले.
RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, growing legacies over 200 years.
From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for the debate.
The debate at 10. Powered by Reva University, Quick Heal Secrite, Green Lamb Laminates, PolicyBazaar.com.
Good evening and welcome back, friends. As the nation soaks in a lot of spirituality as a build-up to the Ram temple Pran Pratishtha, we have to also keep an eye for you on what's happening in our geographic neighborhood and beyond in the rest of the world. This evening, I bring to you two sharp debates. First was in Pakistan, and the second on whether we are inching closer towards a possible world conflagration or, if you will, a World War III. Beginning with Pakistan first. It's almost like a habit now for our Western neighbor to get spanked and thrashed by all its neighbors. India did its surgical strikes, the Uri and Balakot strikes. The Kabul regime have a proxy in Tehreek-e-Taliban, Pakistan, which can pin down the Pakistani state at their will. And yesterday, we had Iran sending in missiles targeting what it called the terror network of Sunni militant organization Jaish-e-Adl. Clearly, a Pak deep state proxy. The message is that everyone is getting fed up with this pesky, unruly, irresponsible neighbor. And it's almost like Pakistan has become a nuisance in chief for the world. We'll discuss that. Let's look at this package and come back with a panel of guests.
Pakistan punished once again for being a terror haven.
Allahu Akbar, Hasbunallahu ni'mal wakeel, Allahu Akbar. Allahumma thabbit. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Walillahi alhamd.
In the last round, UAVs and missiles strike terror targets in Pakistan. This headline is not from 2014, but from 2024. Not much seems to have changed. Pakistan scrapping the bottom of the barrel for cash.
हमारे एक न्यूक्लियर ताकत है और दूसरे हाथ में कशकोल. ये आग और पानी का ये कब तक ये मिलाप हो नहीं सकता, कब तक?
Its all-controlling army overstretched from Siachen to Sir Creek. The one thing Pakistan is not short of is trouble.
Pakistan is in a precarious situation. In the east, it has persistent tension with India. In the west, bilateral relationship with Afghanistan has touched new low. The Pakistani Taliban, with Pakistan accused that they have hideouts inside Afghanistan, they are continually attacking targets inside Pakistan. And now Iran has turned its heart as well. On the other hand, China
All right, joining me are in-house strategic affairs expert consulting editor Major Gaurav Arya. He's joining us live from Delhi. From Pakistan, Dr. Syed Elahi, political analyst, live from Islamabad. And we also have senior journalist Javed Khan, live from Islamabad, joining us via Zoom. Very good evening to you all. If I could begin with Javed Khan first. Ye kya ho raha hai? What's really happening? Abhi to Iran also does this spanking, hits Pakistan, carries out surgical strike. Something you can't even deny now, Javed Khan Saab.
Yes, thank you very much. I think whatever Iran did will be responded very effectively. Basically, Iran is a brotherly country. Definitely, we have had problems on the border areas for a long time, blow hot and blow cold. But Pakistan never expected Iran to go to the extent which Tehran did. But that doesn't mean Pakistan will not respond, though Pakistan would like to sort of adopt an approach which doesn't lead to escalation in the region as well, because region is already inflamed right now. Iran struck in Iraq as well. The Iranians struck in Syria as well, and simultaneously they attacked Pakistan as well. So it is kind of a situation which is leading towards
Nobody
regional
is asking you, Javed Khan
escalation.
साहब, for escalation. Iran को जो करना था वो कर दिया उन्होंने. They're
Yes,
not
I
going to
understand.
ask you if they have to escalate. That's a message, in fact.
Yes, I understand. I understand. But as far as Pakistan's response is concerned, I'm sure Pakistan will respond in a way that it doesn't lead to a larger conflagration. But that doesn't mean Pakistan will not respond. The meetings, the necessary deliberation is going on in Pakistan at every tier of the decision-making process in Islamabad. Ultimately, course will be charted and Pakistan will give its response, and that would be appropriate response. That is for sure.
Okay, but you see, Eliza, the foreign minister of Iran was in Islamabad about 5 months back. And then last month, you had this Jaish al-Adl carrying out a military or terror operation, inside Iran, killing about 11 Iranian security personnel. So obviously, like on your Eastern Front, you have organizations which are not under your control now on your Western Front also. So it's Javed Khan साहब says कि ये तो brother country है, उनको तो नहीं पड़ी, they don't care. Or what is this brother country? Again, some communal element there.
Thank you.
Hindu India is enemy. Muslim Iran is brother country.
Thank you very much. As you know that Balochistan is divided in 3 parts, one in Pakistan, one in Iran, and one in Afghanistan. And there are many splinter groups who are fighting against their relevant governments. So as you know, Iran has been declared a terrorist state by the world community, and UN has imposed sanctions due to terrorism and state-sponsored terrorism by Iranian government. They are supporting Hezbollah, Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, IRM, and different other organizations. So Iran is one of those 3 countries who are involved in state-sponsored terrorism. Unfortunately, Iran is Pakistan's neighbor, and Pakistan has always shown patience and good relations. But now when Iranians, they get confused by their attacks from their own terrorists based in Balochistan area, while from Afghanistan, Pakistan, or Iran. And that's why they are really worried. They have attacked Pakistani land area, which will be retaliated. And you know, these things happen in common borders between Pakistan and Afghanistan, because the border area is so wide and different tribes are living across the borders. So they have very close contacts. So terrorists can flee over in different parts who are followed. But Iran, once they attacked, they have crossed their limits.
Eliza.
And one
Dr.
thing
Saeed
more.
Elahi.
Let me finish. Iran has attacked Pakistan, and Iran is a country which is totally torn off, broken, 70s Air Force, and all obsolete arms, except few drones and missiles.
Oh, really?
With which they cannot attack any big country like Pakistan, and within few hours, that can be retaliated. That can be
Mr.
retaliated
Elahi, you
fully.
seem to be living in a make-believe
And
world.
within hours, Iran can be
is
taught
a
a
$2
lesson,
trillion
but
economy. Pakistan is $300 billion economy.
Sir, we have
You think you have better military than Iran?
resources, much better. And they're having better air force, better army, better arsenals, and better fighters who have experience of fighting terrorism from 40
No, it's
years.
interesting.
So
It's
Pakistan
interesting,
army
Eli,
is fighting against.
Dr. Saeed Eli, it's interesting that between our two Pakistani guests, Javed Khan says that Iran is a brother country, and Saeed Ilahi is ready
brothers can
to
fight. Brothers
saber
can fight.
rattle and, call Iran a terrorist state, a designated terrorist state. Major Gaurav,
That's
I
right,
want you in
because
on
it
this.
is sanctioned by
You
UN.
see,
This
the
is
kind
what
of
UN
bluff and
says.
bluster that was there in the Pakistani Foreign Ministry statement, that this is an unprovoked and blatant breach of Pakistan's sovereignty by Iran. It's a violation of international law and principles of charters of United Nations, so on and so forth. A lot of bluff and bluster, Major Gaurav Arya, but nothing beyond that. You call back your ambassador like you did with the case of India after the surgical strike per matter, and there, Pakistan can't do anything beyond that.
Retaliated also, sir.
No, Abhishek, it's very important that the Pakistani guests tell us what Pakistan plans to do. Because Pakistan will use very big words. UN Charter, international justice, sovereignty. These are words. These are just words. They don't mean anything today. You see, they say we have a better army, they have a 70s Air Force. Okay, whatever. First of all, they have more money than you. They have far more money than you, number one. Number two, they are not dependent upon the global platforms or countries for loans. They have money. Number three, while yes, Iran has been supporting terror outfits, and I will agree with the Pakistani gentleman that Iran has supported terror outfits, but there is a dichotomy, Abhishek. 99.9% of the Pakistanis believe that people from Hamas and Hezbollah are heroes because they're killing Jews. And here we have a Pakistani who's saying that Iran supports terror. And Iran has been sanctioned by the world because it supports terror outfits like Hezbollah and like Hamas. So here is a Pakistani who's calling the Hamas terrorists. I don't know. Hamas and Lashkar, these are heroes in Pakistan. These are role models for young Pakistanis. And my last point here is, my last point, sir, I would just request you to hear me out, sir. My last point, and this is my question, frankly, to my Pakistani guests, that what are you going to do about it? You have nuclear weapons, right? You say you have an excellent air force. I say okay. You say you have a fantastic army. I'll say okay. But forget about that. What are you going to do? Iran has already done. Iran had to hit your targets. Iran hit your targets. What are you militarily going to do?
Exactly.
This is my question.
Exactly. You were saying brother country, we will not want to escalate. Nobody is asking you.
Gaurav, thank you.
Major, let me take this to Javed Khan. Javed Khan, nobody is asking you. If Iran wants to strike, they strike deep. Kohe, what is this place called? Kohe sub-area of Balochistan is right inside Pakistan, and the Iranians have hit it.
Gaurav Arya said. Let me respond to what Gaurav Arya said. Gaurav Arya, we have got two options to go for. Very clearly, this is what I'm telling you. One is to go for the retaliatory military strikes. Another is to put pressure, diplomatic pressure on Tehran and force Tehran to apologize what they did as far as the strike is concerned. If Tehran does apologize and diplomatically they tell Pakistan that it was a mistake they made, or rather it was a rogue Islamic Republican Revolutionary Guards who carried out this strike against Pakistan, most likely it wasn't sanctioned by the state of Iran or at the top level of the civilian leadership. Second option, if they don't comply what is required from them, to apologize to Pakistan for the unwarranted and the kind of attack they launched against Pakistan.
Apologize?
Which is
if they apologize, you would be okay?
Second option.
If Iran says, no, so sorry, we hit you with a missile, are you going to be okay?
I think that would be a better option for Pakistan, because at the moment, Pakistan wouldn't like to get into any larger conflict, which is dragging every country in the region as far as Middle Eastern conflict is concerned. The second option, Gaurav Arya, is definitely
there is a reason why you can't escalate, because you don't have the wherewithal to escalate, boss. Major?
Let me explain this. Let me explain this second option as well.
Nobody is lending money to Pakistan.
Okay, let me tell you the second option which Gaurav Arya was asking me. Second option is Pakistan will retaliate without any iota of doubt. Pakistan will retaliate militarily, and there is no option for Pakistan, because Pakistan would like to give any country a chance to get emboldened that, well, Iran struck against Pakistan and Pakistan never did anything. So let there be no mistake. Any other country trying to go for any misadventure will get a very befitting response, and Iran will get the same.
I would like to say something, Abhishek, with your permission. I would like to make a point here.
Yeah, Major, please get in. Because because if Javed Khan or even Saeed Ilahi think that they have a fantastic army and they can take on Iran, I think they're mistaken, Major.
No, the first point that the gentleman from Pakistan made was that we'll pressurize them, and into apologizing or something. Pressurize Iran. America is not able to pressurize Iran. The Western world is not able to pressurize Iran. They have been under sanctions since 1979. You want to pressurize Iran. They don't care about the United States of America, sir. They don't care about European Union. They don't care. They give 2 hoots to America. They have shot off missiles at American bases. And you're saying Pakistan will diplomatically pressurize. Give me a break, sir. And one thing I'd like to say, and I'd like to say it in Hindi, so that a wider audience can understand. Sir, ये brother mulk, Islami mulk, उम्मा, ये सब झूठी बच्चों की कहानी है. सर, ये अलिफ लैला की कहानी है. पैसा बोलता है, मफाद की दुनिया है. Let's be practical here. आधे पाकिस्तानियों को तो यही मंजन आपने बेच रखा है पूरा कि बिरादर मुल्क. कौन सा बिरादर मुल्क है? किसको बिरादर मुल्क? क्योंकि वो नमाज पढ़ते हैं इसलिए बिरादर हैं. ऐसा कहीं नहीं होता. पूरी दुनिया में कोई नहीं होता. This is past its sell-by date, sir. ये expiry model हो चुका है मामला. Nobody believes it. Pakistan will have to get into real politics. If somebody bombs you, you got to bomb them back. Did they think that you are a biradar country before they sent their missiles and drones inside Balochistan and killed people? Did they say, oh, आप भी नमाजी हैं, हम भी नमाजी हैं, आपने भी कलमा पढ़ा है, हमने भी कलमा पढ़ा है, इसलिए आप हमारे बिरादर हैं? ये बिरादर छोड़िए सर, ये झूठी बातें हैं. इन दिलों में तेल नहीं है. मैं आपसे बोल रहा हूँ, बड़े एहतराम के साथ बोल रहा हूँ. आप मेरे बुजुर्ग हैं सर, बड़े हैं मुझसे. मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, ये सब पाकिस्तानी एनालिस्ट बहुत कहते हैं वो हमारा बिरादर मुल्क है. कोई बिरादर नहीं होता इस दुनिया में. ईरान अपने मफाद देख रहा है, आपको अपने मफाद देखने हैं सर. अब आपको फैसला करना है कि आप जवाब कैसे देंगे. इट्स सिंपल सर. अगर आप सोच रहे हैं कि आप प्रेशराइज करेंगे ईरान को, वो 15 प्रेसिडेंट आके चले गए सर, कुछ तो मर भी गए उसमें. ईरान तब प्रेशराइज नहीं हो रहा. ईरान को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा.
But Gaurav, do you honestly believe that Pakistan will not respond?
There is number one. There is a clear Sunni-Shia axis between Jaish al-Adl and what Iran has done, obviously. Number two, you see, by that logic, the Ummah logic, even Afghanistan is a brother country. But what's happening? Every other day, there is a bickering between Islamabad and Kabul. And Pakistan wanted their own people and the rest of the world to believe that the regime in Kabul is now in their hands. Look what has happened over the last month, last 2 months, last 6 months. Every other day, Sayyid Ilahi Sahab, there is a bickering between Islamabad and Kabul. So what are you talking about this brotherhood? The problem is inside Pakistan. You are not ready to admit it. The problem is the jihadism. The problem is the radicalism. The problem is the terrorism. The ecosystem that Pakistan has really nurtured and cultivated over decades. When would you admit that, Elisa?
One more thing I would like to ask Abhishek from our Pakistani guest, if I may ask a question.
Mr. Gaurav, let me speak now because I think we have listened to you.
Please.
Mr.
I'll come back to you, Major. You ask the question next time. In the next round.
Yeah, I think I agree to Major Gaurav to some extent. Another thing is that he has a wrong view about Pakistan, that most of Pakistanis, they support Hezbollah or Lashkar-e-Taiba or so on. In Pakistan, when Lashkar-e-Taiba was not banned, they contested election and they got 0.5% votes. So the same number of extremists exist in India. So all those people who are extremists, they exist in all countries. But in Pakistan, they have been banned, cornered, and sentenced.
We are not discussing India versus Pakistan. Please stop comparing.
Okay, let me compare because you are talking to me. You are my
nuisance in chief in the region where Iran, your so-called brother country,
Iran
is carrying out military strikes.
Let me tell you,
Kabul releases the statements every other day. China is not happy that their own engineers get killed day in and day out. India, of course, has drawn the red line with Uri and Balakot. So, the problem is Pakistan. Please don't compare with India. We're not even discussing India versus Pakistan.
My dear friend, Balakot was retaliated. And the airplane were thrown down, arrested, given tea and sent back. So you know what happened after Balakot? So same thing will happen with Iran and Iran. Pasdaran Inqilab are just a militia. They are not army. Major Gaurav will agree with me that Irani militia, Irani Pasdaran
Major
Inqilab is
Gaurav
not an
will
army.
agree with you.
It is a
Tell me
militia.
the facts. Major, please tell him the
We
facts.
can hit back them anytime we want.
मेरी एक छोटी सी रिक्वेस्ट है सर, मेरी एक छोटी सी रिक्वेस्ट।
Major, tell him the facts.
पाकिस्तानी
मेजर साहब हम उनको जब चाहे हिट कर सकते हैं।
सर एक सर आप बड़े हैं मुझसे, सर एक छोटी सी रिक्वेस्ट है आपसे। और मैं
सर आप मुझसे बड़े हैं।
सर आप बड़े हैं बुजुर्ग हमारे। मैं आपसे सिर्फ ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ सर, छोटी सी बात है। आप एक चाय का रसीद दिखाते हैं हमें, सर एक चाय पिला दी, एक चाय पिला दी। सर आपके 93,000 बंदों को 3 साल खाना खिलाया सर, हमने तो आज तक गाना नहीं गाया इस चीज का। एनीवे फॉरगेट अबाउट दैट। मैं आपसे एक बात पूछना चाहता हूँ सर, मेरा एक सवाल है।
चाय पिलाई और भेज दिया।
एक छोटी सी बात बताइए सर, आपका ये जो एटम बम है जिसका आप लोग इतना डेली गाना गाते हैं, डेली गाना गाते हैं,
बताइए भाई।
सर एक मिनट मेरी बात सुन लीजिए सर, ये एटम बम किस काम का है? सर एक बात बताइए, मेरी बात का जवाब
छोड़े भाई,
पूछ रहा हूँ आपसे।
आप एक बात मुझे बताइए कि पासदारान इनकलाब एक मलेशिया है या आर्मी है?
मेरी बात तो सुन लीजिए। अगर आप इंटरप्ट करते हो तो मैं चुप हो जाता हूँ, आप पूछ लीजिए सर फिर।
नहीं आप फरमाइए।
अगर आपकी इजाजत हो तो मैं पूछ लूं। सर मैं आपसे ये पूछने लगा हूँ सर, मेरी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है सर कि हर एक पाकिस्तानी इस बात की कसम खाता है कि हमारे पास एटम बम है, सब गाना गाते हैं, पाव किलो के बम। आपके मिनिस्टर्स ऐसे बात करते हैं एवरी सिंगल डे। सम पाकिस्तानी इवन यस्टरडे व्हेन दे अटैक्ड, ईरान ने अटैक करा, half of your TV anchors, before they were told to keep quiet by the state, by the deep state, the establishment, every TV anchor, every guy was saying in Pakistan, YouTuber, हमारे पास एटम बम है। ये एटम बम किस काम का है सर? कोई भी मार के चला जाता है, कोई भी कुछ कर देता है, आपका एटम बम क्या कर पाता है सर? एक बात बताओ, ये क्या कर लिया इस एटम बम ने आपके लिए जिसपे आपको इतना फख्र है?
जवाब देते हैं
हुजूर, कब जवाब
दिया? अब ईरान का भी देंगे
सर। इसको आप ईरान को क्या जवाब देंगे तो पता नहीं।
ईरान ने हरकत की है
सर ईरान को क्या जवाब देंगे ये पूछ रहे हैं। अभिषेक आपको 15 मिनट से पूछ रहे हैं क्या जवाब
किया है, उसका जवाब उन्हें मिल जाएगा।
क्या
जो उन्होंने किया उसका जवाब मिल जाएगा उनको, और अच्छा मिल जाएगा।
हुजूर क्या जवाब देंगे यही तो पूछ रहे हैं।
उनके यहाँ भी टेररिस्ट कैंप मौजूद हैं। ईरानी सीस्तान में टेररिस्ट कैंप्स मौजूद हैं उनके साथ, जो पाकिस्तान में ऑपरेट करते हैं। तो पाकिस्तान कैन हिट दोज बेसिस इन ईरान। वो कोई मुश्किल काम नहीं। आप फौजी हैं, ये समझते हैं कि ईरान की जो फौज है एक मलेशिया है। जिस तरह अफगानिस्तान की फौज 4 लाख बिखर गई थी, इस तरह ये भी मामूली सी मलेशिया के लोग हैं।
Let me structure this. आपने ये बोला है कि ईरान के अंदर टेररिस्ट बेसेस हैं जो पाकिस्तान के अंदर टेररिस्ट एक्टिविटीज करते हैं। ईरान के अंदर वो बेसेस मौजूद है एंड पाकिस्तान हैज द ऑप्शन टू हिट देम। आई अप्रिशिएट योर आंसर सर, बढ़िया आंसर है।
आई थिंक वी हैव टू,
सिंपल सी बात है।
Major Saab,
Major.
If they have bases there,
I think it's not just about this particular strike.
We have to hit them back.
The larger issue that I was raising was about which our Pakistani guests are little, they are sort of deflecting. Javed Khan साहब तो चुप ही हो गए.
Everybody.
The point I'm making is,
but you asked me.
Like in the case of Iran, so in the case of Afghanistan, in the case of India, so in the case of China. China, I don't think is in love with you. Please understand, Javed Khan sahab. China uses Pakistan as a finger in the eye of India. China has no love lost for Pakistan. They have seen their workers, engineers, their teachers getting killed in Pakistan because of the manner in which the terror factory works in Pakistan. When would you address that? Javed Khan, please answer. Are you even, I mean, in your own interest, for God's sake, in your own interest.
Abhishek.
This is not India. आप बार-बार India पे मत लाइए, बालाकोट को भूल जाइए थोड़ी देर के लिए. We know facts have come out in the book written by our ambassador at that High Commissioner at that time, Ajay Bisaria, about what happened in that Qatl ki raat, where your Prime Minister was begging for a phone call with Indian Prime Minister. So let's forget about that. I think what is important is, in your own interest, Javed Khan sahab, Pakistan has to understand that nobody loves you, nobody trusts you, you are absolutely isolated in your neighborhood, nobody is willing to pay money to you. For God's sake, how would you reform yourself?
Give me a chance to respond. Abhishek, you're talking about, okay, let's forget about Balakot.
Please go ahead.
Right now, let us talk about Afghanistan and Iran. Gaurav is a military man. I think if we talk about logic and rationale, do you believe that Pakistan will start spilling out the total plan how to retaliate? And does he believe that the retaliation is spontaneous and it is carried out within minutes and hours? No, it doesn't. I think at different tiers of the decision making in Pakistan, it is being discussed, and it is being discussed at a very, very important decision-making level. So Pakistan is to consider several pros and cons. Ultimately, whatever decision is made, it will be made public. Made public when Pakistan takes the action, it will be known. Exactly when India hit Balakot, it took us about 12 to 13 hours, and we retaliated, and India knew how we retaliated. Same is the case with Tehran as well. It will not go unpunished, Gaurav. This is what I'm telling you. You'll find out very soon that this action on part of Tehran will not go unpunished. Not punishing Iran is not an option as far as Pakistan is concerned. So why you are in a hurry?
Major, is that the issue? Major, again, I'm sort of repeating, but is that the issue? I mean, Iran carries out a strike, Pakistan would respond, but is that the issue? I think the issue is that, and these are very respectable intellectual representatives of the Pakistani elite, you know, is there an introspection, an element of introspection that it's not Hindu India versus Muslim Pakistan, it's Shia Iran versus Sunni Pakistan, it's Sunni Afghanistan versus Sunni Pakistan, it's absolutely atheist China versus a Sunni Pakistan, so to say. I don't know, but Pakistan is the lowest common multiple. It is the problem, right, Major?
See, I'll tell you one thing. This whole thing about, Pakistan tends to, it's about rich and poor, actually. It's not about Shia and Sunni. It's about rich and poor. Saudi Arabia is a rich country. Saudi Arabia doesn't talk about Shia Sunni. It doesn't care. It has too much of money. ये गरीब लोग बात करते हैं शिया सुन्नी के बारे में कि वो शिया है, वो सुन्नी है. अमीरों के चक्कर नहीं. अमीरों के चोचले पाउंड, यूरो, डॉलर हैं. उनके चक्कर अलग हैं अमीरों के. ये गरीब मुल्क बात करते हैं. आप कभी यूएई कभी बात नहीं करता. बहरीन कभी बात नहीं करेगा. Rich Muslim countries will never talk about it. It is the poor Muslim countries who will talk about these divides because they derive their identity from these divisions in the religion. That is number one. Number two, I want to say that, you see, this whole thing, China has spoken to both Pakistan and Iran, and China has told both Pakistan and Iran to pipe down. China has said, please calm down, relax, stop this nonsense. Now, if Pakistan still retaliates after this, it will be going against China's directives. And point number three that I wish to make is that, this year, if Pakistan does not complete the oil and gas pipeline to the border of Iran, they will take Pakistan to court and sue them for $18 billion US. Pakistan doesn't have 8, where is it going to give 18 billion from? This is also a reality of 2024. They have to return the money. They have to give $18 billion or make the pipeline. This is what Iran has officially communicated to Pakistan. Abhishek.
My dear, Iran is sanctioned from UN. They can't go to ICJ.
Pakistan hasn't forgotten that
I agree with few things you said,
network was
but I will just
okay, I have a breaking news development, in fact. Okay, Mr. Alahi, quickly, because I have a breaking news development to add. Let me add that and then you respond. India has released a statement on the Iranian strikes on Pakistan, where India has said that this is a matter between Iran and Pakistan. Insofar as India is concerned, we have an uncompromising position of zero tolerance towards terrorism. We understand actions that countries take in self-defense. So in a way, supporting Iran. But go ahead, Mr. Alahi.
Okay, so I think Iran, which is basically criticized and sanctioned by whole world, I'm astonished India is supporting Iran. So anyhow, but Major Gaurav, when he talked about poor and rich, in Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, and all those Gulf countries, 99% people, rich or poor, they are not pro-Iran. And they don't like Iran's ventures or adventures in Saudi Arabian or Gulf areas. So that is not true. It is a matter of rich and poor.
No,
so
sir.
it is a old enmity between Arab or Ajam. That is, means Arabs and non-Arabs. So that was centuries old. But still the hatred exists. And Saudi and UAE, they still, when you go there, meet people, they are government officials, even the topmost people.
I think,
from
sorry,
but they don't like Iran.
Dr. Saeed Elahi, Dr. Saeed Elahi, let's not get into too much of history. The fact of the matter is, Major, that we hope, fervently hope, that Pakistan develops a set of elite who introspect and realize that it's not one militia here, one terror group there, which is a problem. It is a culture which over the last 4 or 5 decades post General Ziaul Haq, if I could say, has nurtured and cultivated an ecosystem which incentivizes this kind of absolute irresponsible military jihadism, irrespective of who's the target. On the east, it's India. To the northwest, it's Afghanistan. To the southwest, it's Iran. And within the country, of course, you know Eli Saab, you know Javed Khan Saab. There are so many problems Pakistan is facing exactly because of this ecosystem which has been nurtured in Pakistan over the last 4 or 5 decades. I hope viewers would understand what's really happening in our neighborhood. Thank you so much, all our guests, for joining us. Major Gaurav Warya, Dr. Saeed Ilahi, and Dr. Javed Khan, senior journalist, for joining us from Islamabad. And we slip into a short 30 seconds Securite break, and I'm back with another engaging conversation on the other side on the possibility of World War III.
Ransomware and other advanced threats are on the rise. Your organization can be the next target. Are you ready? Securite Hawk Hunt XDR with AI-powered enhanced detection and response can help prepare your organization to counter next ransomware attack, data breach and advanced threat. Securite Hawk Hunt XDR.
Are we one misfire away from World War III? From Middle East to Europe, is the world living a tinderbox moment? From the Taiwan Straits to the Bosphorus concerning, debating tonight at 10:30 p.m.
Welcome back, friends. In the last 48 hours, we have seen military strikes that could have provided a trigger for a larger conflagration. Iran hit targets in northern Iraq that landed missiles close to the American consulate in Erbil. President Putin of Russia has drawn a fresh red line, saying no question of returning any Ukrainian territory captured in the last year and a half by Russia. China has another red flag moment with Taiwan, with the election results that came last week, throwing up a winner Beijing does not like. Is the world today a tinderbox, just a trigger away from a world war conflagration? That's a little provocative, but then we ask. A short package and then I come back with a panel of guests.
An aggressive China, Russia invading a European neighbor, Iran engaged in tanker war 2.0. World affairs today look as if all of Tom Clancy's novels have rolled into reality. From China readying its navy and warning Taiwan in the east, to the US warning Iran and waging war against the Houthis.
These attacks are unlawful, they're reckless, and they are escalatory. The United States has built an international naval coalition of more than 20 countries that are countering these attacks and protecting international commerce through what we now call Operation Prosperity Guardian, and that's what you saw happen yesterday.
To Venezuela flexing muscles against its tiny neighbor.
These borders were settled in 1899. I see absolutely no case for unilateral action by Venezuela. It should cease, it is wrong. But I don't think I can remember a time when the need for international solidarity and action to tackle these threats has been more important for our own domestic security. I simply don't think there is, in any of our countries, a sort of put up the drawbridge and think you can insulate yourself from these problems. You can't.
and the Israelis waging war in Gaza. Something Iran said would spark a war. The old Chinese proverb, "May you live in interesting times," is one way to describe the current situation. With so many of the world's flashpoints active now, are we just one short step away from a global conflict? Let's debate.
All right, welcome back. Another very engaging panel of guests I have. Experts in their own field, conflict management experts, foreign policy experts, geostrategic experts. Joining me, Einar Tanjan, political affairs commentator. He's joining us live from Beijing. We'll try and understand what's really happening in the Forbidden City insofar as the Taiwan developments go. Then we have Edward P. Joseph. I believe he has joined. I can't see him if PCA can help. A foreign policy analyst. He's been an adjunct lecturer and senior fellow at the Foreign Policy Institute. Oh, okay, that's Edward P. Joseph. And I'm told we are also being joined in by Lord Rami Ranger, CBE, member of the House of Lords, and of course, a businessman live from the United Kingdom. If I could begin with Einar Tanjan first and try to understand, as I said, what's going on in Beijing's mind. Mr. Tanjan, you know, I am going through some figures of the last couple of years of Chinese incursions into the Taiwanese airspace, as they call it, the ADIZ. 2020, 380 aircraft of the Chinese People's Liberation Army Air Force crossed the median line and went into the Taiwanese airspace. In 2021, it almost tripled to 960. In 2022, it again doubled to almost 1727. And in 2023, the final numbers are yet to come, but almost 2,000 Chinese aircraft getting into the Taiwanese airspace. So obviously, there has been a very mathematical buildup of Chinese aggression vis-a-vis Taiwan. Now, with the kind of results that have come last week, you think, though of course the Taiwanese government has been conciliatory, not sort of escalating, not showing any exuberance. But you think this is a red flag for China, and we could be looking at the possibility of Chinese escalating the military aggressive posture even further.
No, not really. I mean, what you have in Beijing is they've been quite firm that Taiwan is part of China. There's only one China. And that was agreed to by the United States back in the late 70s, early 80s in the series of 3 communiques. Since that time, Washington has said that they have a different interpretation of what one China means. They have been arming Taiwan, resuming high-level delegations. Nancy Pelosi went there. And since that time, also, very sophisticated weapons, which they say will help, quote, Taiwan defend itself. This idea that it's somehow just Beijing that is ramping up is wrong. They're reacting to what they see as provocations from pro-independence groups like Mr. Lai, who said on many occasions that he is a worker for the independence of Taiwan and also Washington. So there's always 2 sides to a story, and that's Beijing's.
But then Mr. Lai is the president now. So what do you do? What would Beijing do? That's what I'm saying. Does Beijing see it as a provocation?
No, they'll see a provocation if he tries to hold a referendum or make a move that says that Taiwan is somehow independent. They could not be more clear about that. But you know, they see a gradual erosion of his power. Remember, at the last election, they got over 50%, and they had a majority in the Legislative Council. This time around, although he was first past the post, he only had 40% of the vote. That means 60% of the people did not support him. In terms of the legislature, they are actually at 51 members, elected members. The other party has 52, and then there's one with 8. You start adding it up, it's clear that Mr. Lai will not have a majority in the Legislative Council, will not be able to push any kind of real extreme policies. So we'll have to see. I mean, Mr. Lai has also understood the realities of the situation in terms of the Legislative Council and the ability to pass laws and promulgate his policies. So it's right now it's a compromise. As long as no one makes any sudden moves, it should be fine.
Okay.
But keep in mind that if Beijing wants to exert pressure on Taiwan, 40% of Taiwan's GDP is tied to the mainland. They can have ample opportunities to use economic carrots and sticks. If they had really wanted to cripple Taiwan's economy, they could have done it a long time ago. They do not. They see Taiwan as part of China. They want to see it succeed. But they do look forward to the day when it is reunified formally with the mainland.
All right. So you also sound a little conciliatory. But the fact of the matter is that the Chinese have been building up, stepping up pressure on Taiwan. We don't know when this can actually lead to a real military action. But Professor Joseph, on the Taiwan side, okay, it seems as of now some conciliatory noises coming in from both the sides, in fact. But you see, the Erbil strike carried out by Iran 2 days back landed pretty close to the US consulate there in Erbil in northern Iraq. Now, if this close was closer than close and say landed nearer than it did to the US consulate, you think we are looking at a flashpoint in what's really happening in the Middle East, larger Middle East, over the last 1 week, 10 days, fortnight?
Let me address that and first say it's good to be with you, the fellow guests, and of course your viewers. And just quickly on Taiwan, just to note that our dean at Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies, James Steinberg, a former Deputy Secretary of State, along with former National Security Advisor Steve Hadley, just went to Taiwan in the immediate aftermath of those important elections, carrying a message of support for Taiwan democracy, but not, of course, encouraging any moves towards independence. So this was, again, the message from Washington, respect and congratulations for democracy, but not interested in any provocative moves from Taiwan. And that was very clear. With respect to Iran, of course, we have to be very clear here that Iran remains a menace, a source of great instability in the Middle East, and its actions, including, you're absolutely correct, this strike which violated the sovereignty of Iraq, which Iran claims it has close relations with. There in the north, in Kurdistan, it was very dangerous, and it killed Iraqi citizens, that is, these Kurdish civilians there who had nothing to do whatsoever, nor did any other country have anything to do with the terrorist strike in Kerman in Iran earlier this month. And we see it's very clear there should be no mystery here. Why Iran did this? They did this because they're exposed, because the real culprit who committed the terrorist act in Iran was the Islamic State. It was not Israel, as Iran falsely claimed. And we have the proof of that because Iran itself hit Islamic State targets within Syria. But it had to cover its move. It had to create a cover for its move against the Islamic State because Iran portrays itself as this leader of the so-called axis of resistance. So it had to do some strike that it claimed had some connection to Israel, which everyone knows was false. Yes, the situation is dangerous because Iran
Even
has its
Iraq has
tentacles
denied that.
in the Middle East. Please.
Even Iraq
Your
has
question.
denied that it had anything to do, the targets had anything to do with Israel. But you see, we have seen increasing belligerence by Iran over the last fortnight, targeting Syria, targeting the Kurdish areas north of Iraq, and in fact, yesterday targeting even some terror sanctuaries in Pakistan. In fact, the drones that hit an Indian merchant vessel right inside Indian economic zone, Indian exclusive economic zone about fortnight back. The ammunition had origins in Iran, and our foreign minister, external affairs minister, has gone to Tehran and done some plain speaking about that. But the point is that the kind of capability that this axis has developed, Iran, Syria, Lebanon, Yemen, if you look at it, and Friday, the United States, United Kingdom carried out major strikes inside Yemen, in the Houthi areas, in Sana'a, in fact. 28 locations, 60 missiles shot. And despite that, on Tuesday, which was yesterday, the United States had to carry out one more attack. And 4 missiles that were ready to be launched into the Red Sea, targeting the shipping, merchant shipping, they had to be taken down. It gives you an idea of the kind of capacity that Iran has perhaps developed, Professor Joseph, over the last few years, or perhaps a decade and a half, and which is coming into play. So obviously, if this cycle of action and reaction continues, that's what I am worrying about and being a little provocative. Can it lead to a larger conflagration?
The answer, of course, it's always a possible. But we have to, in order to assess that properly, we have to understand what are Iran's motives. Not just its capabilities, which you correctly point to. It has these destabilizing proxies across the Middle East. It has the Houthis there in Yemen, and there are reports that there are senior Iranian commanders on the ground in Yemen advising. So much for the concept that the Houthis operate just on their own. And of course, their capabilities are there. And everyone knows and everyone expected that the Houthis will continue to launch these strikes. The US and the UK and its partners in the region, no one predicted that, immediately this first strikes were going to stop them. They have portable capabilities, and they'll continue, and the US and the UK and its partners will continue to respond. And ultimately, that's going to be a question for Iran and the Houthis to decide, because they put themselves at risk, because the Houthis do not completely control Yemen. So that's first. So yes, you're right. Iran has its proxies there in Yemen, and wait, let me quickly come to it. The key one, the key proxy, and this is the problem for Iran. It's actually a problem. Is Iran's main proxy in the Middle East is Hezbollah in Lebanon, and yet that is a serious problem for Iran. Why? Because we see Hezbollah doing almost nothing, just engaging in tit-for-tat shots across the border with Israel, but doing next to nothing while the Israeli Defense Forces are at their most vulnerable. They're deployed in Gaza. If you are the axis of resistance, like Iran says, well, this is your great opportunity to show, and yet they do nothing. Hezbollah has done almost nothing, and the question is why? The question, and the answer is because Iran doesn't really care about Palestinians. Iran cares about Iran. And Hezbollah is there as so-called, what they call in Iran, forward defense for Iran. And what Iran is most concerned about is regime survival.
Professor Joseph.
Please.
Yeah, I mean, what we are discussing is these small triggers here and there, a cycle of action and reaction, creating a tinderbox, which just needs one spark. Let me go to London and to Lord Rami Ranger. Just try to understand the Europe view also, Lord Ranger. President Putin, I think just day before yesterday, has said, and I just quote, exact quote, as for this negotiation process, the attempt to induce us to give up what we conquered over the past year and a half, well, it's impossible. those who rule in Ukraine, the Western elites, everybody knows it. So I think he's throwing the challenge, President Putin, that do what you want to do. What we have taken by way of the Donbas republics is ours. So what does the West do now? I mean, you have had NATO expansion from 12 members originally to 16 in 1999 when the post-Soviet era began, to 26 in 2005, to 28 in 2010, to 30 in 2020 and 31 now. So obviously, President Putin can say, if this provocation continues, this eastward expansion of NATO, I am not going to relent. So where does it end?
I think the role of United Nations has become very, very important, because in this global village, when the world has shrunk and the effect of war or conflict in any part of the world are felt in every part of the world. So therefore, it is in the interest of everyone that we should minimize these conflicts wherever they take place. First of all, we need to outlaw terrorists and terrorism in any shape and form. Any country which harbors terrorists and supports terrorists should be isolated, not by just one country, two countries, but by the entire United Nations. I think United Nations has to be strengthened and has to be brought forward, because when the two groups are fighting with each other, the easiest reaction is to join one group or the other. But that just escalates the problem, and then it does not solve the problem we really want to solve. Therefore, a United Nations is supposed to be an independent peace broker.
Is it little misplaced hope, Lord Ranger? Sorry to be interjecting, but is it really a misplaced hope that the United Nations would do anything? I think look at any theater, any geography, they have woefully failed.
But you know, we have to give some teeth to United Nations, because if United Nations decide with the majority members for something or the other, and that will have a lot of gravitas, rather than just two people deciding who are locked in dispute. So my appeal to people is that we have to change our approach to conflict. We have to diffuse those conflicts wherever they take place. We have to have a body which goes out to bring reconciliation, bring peace, rather than just adding fuel to fire. So there are no winner in war. There are people, real people are involved and near suffering. Look at the Ukraine war, how it has brought misery to poor people. Their food prices have gone through the roof, their fuel prices have gone through the roof, the cost of living. So therefore, what happens in one corner of the world has direct impact on the poor nations. So therefore, I think if there is a United Nations there, we have to empower, we have to give them new powers so they can really be robust sanction against the rogue state which flout international laws. And so therefore, my appeal is that we should have more bodies who go out, who travel to the troubled spots of the world and sit down with this leader and explain to them that they will have a lot more. Look at the state of Yemen now. People have no medicine, no water, no food.
True. Please complete your sentence. Sorry.
So therefore, somebody, a group of people, group of nations have to go and talk to the Houthis, talk to Iran, talk to that their methods will never succeed. They will never be able to achieve their objectives. All they will do is to increase the suffering of their people. And the history is littered with those leaders who made wrong judgment and brought catastrophe to their own people.
Obviously, Lord Ranger, I think what you're suggesting is that the United Nations Security Council needs more teeth. Maybe it needs to be broad-based, includes in countries like India, Germany, Japan, Brazil, maybe South Africa. And of course, the barest minimum is that we should be able to come to a common definition of what constitutes terrorism. I think that's the barest minimum, which challenges the intellect of the collective intellect of the humanity on the United Nations platform. I believe I have really run out of time. So I'll come to bring this conversation to an end. Thank you so much, everyone.
Sorry, Mahatma Gandhi has given us the way forward, how to negotiate for freedom. There is no need to have violence. If your cause is strong, the people will rally and you will become a force where people will not be able to ignore.
Obviously. So, I still wanted a little more element of China to come in, because remember, a lot of Iranian military adventurism that we are seeing post October 7 is also happening post some meetings that the Iranian leadership has had with Beijing, with President Xi Jinping. So whether there is this element of China winking at what's happening in the Middle East, that's what I wanted to discuss. But unfortunately, I have really run out of time. So I would say thank you so much for all our guests for joining us. Einar, Tangent for joining us from Beijing. Yeah, please complete. I'll give you 30 seconds. Please complete. Einar, you were saying something.
China has no interest in further world disorder. They need to bring in resources and export finished goods in order for their economy to work. So this idea that they're trying to spread bullets and bombs the way the United States is, or that they're somehow involved in something as horrible as Gaza, as the U.S. is absolutely ridiculous. Yes, terrorism should be punished, but I don't think the world is ready for a government that dictates what's going to happen in their country.
Okay, I think China commits mass oppression of Uyghurs. China commits mass oppression of Uyghurs.
I will leave it.
And that's a fact.
We'll have to discuss China sometime. We'll have to discuss China sometime. China is clearly the elephant in the room. So sorry I've run out of time. Thank you so much, Einar Tangent, joining us from Beijing, Professor Joseph joining us from Washington, D.C., and of course, Lord Rami Ranger for London. We had a fantastic conversation. It is a provocative thought whether we are close to World War III. Hopefully we are not, but then it's a tinderbox situation from Europe to Middle East to the Indo-Pacific, and hope better sense prevails. On that note, thank you so much, friends, for joining us. Short break. Live and Breaking continues on the other side.
Powered by Reva University, a social impact multidisciplinary university. SecRight, रखे देश का हर business cyber सुरक्षित. Secure your tomorrow today. Amazing spaces के लिए Green Lamb Laminates. कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा. PolicyBazaar.com, हर family होगी insured. Co-powered by Mankind Pharma, brings premium DMF quality medicine for India.
हेलो बेटा.
मिस्टर विकास के साथ कौन है?
बस बेटा थोड़ी देर और. वो मिस्टर विकास की फाइल आप पॉलिसी